and I am on for another pick a card reading for today's live stream, okay? I hope that you guys are doing well. And before we get into it, you guys, let me turn on my big screen so that I can see myself, okay? And I hope that you guys are doing well today. Happy Thursday. We are on the eve of the weekend, okay? I hope that you guys have a lot of beautiful, let me turn off the feedback there. Hope that you guys have a lot of beautiful plans, okay, for the weekend to get out and spend some time with your loved ones, okay? Or, just some time with yourself, okay? Take the time to smell the flowers, okay? Get out and get some sunshine, some vitamin D, okay? Yeah, so hopefully you guys will have a very beautiful weekend headed your way, okay? Now, as you guys are coming into the live stream, okay, I got to let all of you guys know, for those of you guys who are new and returning, okay, remember that I will not be times looking at the chat, okay, because your girl got attention deficit. So when you guys leave your very beautiful comments in the chat, okay, just know that I'm not ignoring you if I don't see it or respond at the time, okay? After the read, I will read the chat, say hi to you guys, and give some shout outs to as many of you guys as I can, okay? All right, so that's the deal on that, okay? And I just want to say again, you guys, welcome to my channel, okay? I thank you guys in advance for the likes, the shares, and the subscribes, okay? Shout out to all of you guys who are continuing to purchase readings from your girl. Appreciate you guys very much. I've seen quite a few of you guys this morning that are returning, okay? So cool beans with that, okay? Also, thank you for those of you guys who are continuing to leave donations via my business website. It is very much so appreciated. The $5, sometimes $10, sometimes 15 or more dollar donations and tips that you guys leave, okay? Very much so appreciated, okay? Thank you for that, okay? I cannot thank you guys enough because I do not take for granted, okay? You guys trusting me with your energy and trusting me to help you to figure out a situation, bring more personal and spiritual clarity to a situation that you guys may currently be dealing with, okay? So I feel honored, okay, to be able to use my gifts that I have been given by the Most High and my ancestors to be able to do that for you guys, okay? So thanks again. All right, so having said that, guys, we're going to get into today's read, okay? So again, we have a pick a card reading, and today's topic, you guys, is it was never love, honey. It was a love spell. That's right, dear one. I'm hearing from Spirit now, whether you guys have just recently gotten over a situation where now, due to some clarity, due to some self-reflection, due to shadow work and cord cuttings and things of that nature, it has been made abundantly clear to you guys that that most recent relationship that you guys have gotten out of, okay, or Spirit said that you escaped, okay, that it was due to a love spell being put on you. You were not in love with this person. It was more or less like a binding. It was energy manipulation. Or whether it was some time ago, some time ago, maybe 2 or more years ago, and you guys are now happily engaged or happily married or happily single doing your thing, or you're talking to a young gentleman or a young lady, and the back of your mind you're starting to get these downloads and things of that nature. Some of you guys even dreams, okay? Well, today is your confirmation reading that whoever you're thinking about in particular, come through Spirit. Yeah, you're spot on, dear one, because Spirit says it was never love, it was a love spell, okay? And we're going to get into, dear one, who was the person, okay, from your past, or for some of you guys from your recent current, who was the person that put a love spell on you guys? And unbeknownst to you, you thought that you were just giving someone that you normally wouldn't give a chance to, because you're like thinking to yourself, this person is not my type, okay? I don't even know what I was thinking, or I should have left a long time ago. I wasted a lot of time with this person, and now that I'm thinking about it, Sage, with this particular person, with this particular relationship, something just wasn't adding up, okay? Yeah, and that's because it wasn't love, dear one. It was a love spell. So we're going to get into it, all right? So we have two piles here, dear one. So the first pile we have, for those of you guys who will choose pile one, we have in reverse the number 9, spiritual strength. The number 9, spiritual strength in reverse, okay? And then for those of you guys who will choose or who have chosen pile 2, again, we have in reverse, choose wisely. The number 7, choose wisely in reverse, okay? And so with these particular cards, dear one, this is, again, the energy that you guys are currently imbuing, okay? And the energy that you exuded at a certain time where a person came into your life and saw you as a ripe target and commenced to put some type of janky ass love spell on you guys, okay? All right, so let's get into it. Now, for those of you guys who chose pile 1, again, we have the card Spiritual Strength in reverse, okay? So I'm hearing from Spirit, dear one, you guys are the type of person where, unfortunately, because you're very high vibrational and because you're, you may have just recently, your gifts may have just come online recently, or you're just becoming more comfortable with the fact that you're a very spiritually gifted person, very psychically and intuitively gifted, okay? Just because of the fact that a lot of you guys, according to your bloodline and who you are, okay, you could come from a bloodline of very spiritual, powerful people, okay? You could have a very spiritual high ranking over your life, and you could come from ancestry where you have medicine men, medicine women, shamans, and things of the like, okay? Now, some of you guys, you may have always known this prior to this person getting involved with this individual that put a love spell on you, and others of you guys, you did not realize all of this about your bloodline, all of this about your calling and about your spiritual gifts until after you learned that someone had put a love spell on you. And this person, in a lot of ways, okay, they were like a catalyst to awaken you to your spiritual gifts because you had to fight, okay? Come through, Spirit. So for those of you guys who chose pile 1, you're the type of person where, you have these gifts now, and as it were, a lot of people recognize that you were spiritually gifted before you did. So a lot of people had set out to, psychically attack you guys, have you guys lured into all of these dumbass witch wars. It started off with a lot of you guys in your family, okay? Your own goddamn mother or sibling or grandmother or whoever. I'm hearing abuela, your own goddamn grandmother or someone, dear one, from the time that you were early on, before you even knew that you were gifted spiritually, you had people in your family that were spiritually attacking you, psychically attacking you, binding you up, putting spells on you. And some of them, dear one, even at the time when you were, just a little babe, okay? They threw bones, cast it on you, and they looked into your Akashic records and they figured out that you would be the one, come through, Spirit, that would have the mantle, the lion's share of the spiritual gifts. And so because they were jealous, they were trying to do things to you, dear one, to bind you guys, to shut you down before you were even able to come into your full power, okay? But I'm hearing from Spirit, for those of you guys who chose pile 1, you have a history, you have a life story where you can tell someone that all your life, for as long as you can remember, now that you know what you have been under spiritual attack. Now that you know what you know and you know what this thing is all about, you can go back and reflect on certain friendships, rocky, tumultuous, toxic family relationships, okay? Work relationships at your job, okay? Even, some of your past lovers, and we gonna talk about them today, okay? But even with that, dear one, some of you guys, as you sit back and kind of reflect over your life, you can now realize, well, goddamn, all my life, I've had people spiritually attacking me. I've had people trying to put spells on me. Poverty spells, janky ass sex magic spells, spells for me to, lose my gifts, to block my third eye, spells to attack my beauty, spells to attack my health, all types of things, okay? So, now that you guys are in that season of knowing fully who you are, that you are a gifted person, this is something that you guys have had to come to terms with. This is something that you guys have had to become very comfortable with and grow into it and understand that, you have these gifts for a reason. Number one is for your self-protection, okay? Because, you know, your ancestors in spirit knew early on that because of who you are and because of the calling over your life, that you would have a lot of people that would just be gunning for your ass and just be trying to attack you from the left and from the right. So for those of you guys who chose pile one, you know, spiritual warfare and being spiritually attacked for no reason, you know, trying to love people and they turn around and, you know, just try to persecute and hate your ass, okay? This is definitely, you know, this is a part of you guys' you know, life story, okay? Also, for those of you guys who chose pile one, dear one, I'm hearing from spirit, you know, you're the type of person, dear one, where it's like, you know, people look at you and they always want to lure you into some type of, you know, witch war. They want to lure you into some type of battle, okay? You know, because they're automatically very threatened by, you know, your potential of who you are. Some of you guys who have chosen pile one, you are in the spiritual community where there is something that you do, whether it be a Reiki healer, whether it be, you know, a doula, whether it be a reader, whether it be someone that's a practitioner that does spell work for people, okay? You are always the type of person, dear one, where people, they're always trying to compete with you, okay? Based on your gifts, based on what you do, okay? So you have people coming out of the woodworks, you know, trying to engage in some type of warfare, some type of witch war with you. You have people, dear one, you know, where they have always tried to, you know, even people in your family, now that they know what you do or they found out, you have people, dear one, they're always trying to come at you and persecute you and shun you based on your gifts. They don't want you to do what you're doing. They try to make it seem like something's wrong with you. You know, like if you have a toxically religious people in your family, you know, now keep in mind now, some of these same motherfuckers are the ones that, you know, they'll go to church on Sundays, but then Saturday night, you know, they breaking out them cards, they breaking out them rooms, they throwing bones on your ass, but they a goddamn hypocrite because they do it behind the scenes. And then, you know, now that they see you doing it, dear one, they're like, oh, that's the devil's work. That's the devil your ass on. Shut the fuck up, okay? Yeah, it's in your bloodline, dear one. And so these very people that persecute you, they're mad because number one, you have a lion's share of the gift, and number two, now that you have become more spiritually awakened, they know that you can protect your goddamn self and you can figure out who is throwing these janky ass spells at your ass, okay? Yeah. So that's for those of you guys who chose pile one. You guys, there's a lot of that in the energy. It's a little bit more, but I'm gonna cut it short. That's just enough tea for you guys to know that this is the energy that is coming off the card, okay, that could resonate with you guys in some way, shape, or form, okay? So now, y'all, we gonna get into, you know, it was never love, honey. Nah, it was a love spell, okay? So we're gonna get into, you know, who put this spell on you, okay? Y'all gonna know who it is because I'm gonna talk about their traits, okay? Their personality and things of that nature. And then we're gonna get into some of the reasons why they did it in the first place, okay? Because there's always a motive at the end of the day, okay? Yeah, they lusted for you, they lust for you, whatever, you know, that's a given. But then there's other reasons, there's underlying motives of why they do what they do, okay? Because everybody does something because they have an agenda. They have something where they feel as though at the end of the day, if they do that thing, they're going to get some type of reward. So we're going to get deep to, you know, what was their underlying motive or agenda for casting this love spell on you guys in the first place, okay? Spirit says, you guys, because you got, now look here now, come through Spirit. Spirit says a lot of you guys who are part of my collective, y'all are some lookers now, okay? You know, you're easy on the eyes there. So, you know, a lot of you guys, you know, you've had, you know, several exes, you know, several people that you can consider to be past or current love interests, okay? Some of you guys, you know, you could have secret admirers, you know, AKA weird ass weirdos, people you don't know from a can of paint. They didn't lay their eyes on you. All of a sudden they have developed some type of parasocial relationship with your ass, or you know, they lurking and eyeballing you across the cubicle at your job, or you know, as soon as you leaving out to go to work or come back home, you know, your goddamn neighbor, you know, they fascinated with you and shit. You know, it could be anybody from people that you guys have known to you know, people that you guys have been in some type of intimate connection with, okay? But Spirit says, you know, you will know who this person is because Spirit says, think about a person in your mind, okay, of who this person could be. And this will be, as you get the traits, as I'm going to give them to you guys according to the cards and from the ethers, you guys will know who this person is, okay? All right, so let's get it, okay? Who put this spell on you, dear one? Because, see, you thought it was love, but it was never love, honey. It was a love spell, okay? Let's see. Come through, Spirit. Come through, Spirit. First card we have, you guys, it was in reverse. Let me show it to you guys, okay? We have the base chakra. The base chakra, it was in reverse, okay? Yeah, so I'm hearing from Spirit right off the bat, dear one. This person, dear one, who put a love spell on you, this person, they have an overactive root chakra, okay? Now, for those of you guys who are in the know, we know that the root chakra governs the I protect, I provide. It's also the base of that covers the, the basic necessities: food, clothes, shelter, sex, emotions, okay? So this person, dear one, that put a love spell on you, they have a very overactive root chakra, very greedy, very selfish. This person could also have some type of sex addiction. This is also dear one, someone that, as we look at the number 1 in reverse here, this is someone, dear one, where all intents and purposes, dear one, it's like they're kind of goofy. It's giving lame. It's giving that, they don't really have this type of posture about them where they know how to relate to a lot of people, talk to a lot of people, hold conversations. They don't have a gift of gab. They don't understand and read social cues. They haven't really had a lot of, intimate connections or real tangible relationships, okay? This person is the type of person, dear one, where, they're like an addict, okay? All of their relationships have been very low vibrational, very transactional, okay? It's all about what can you do for me, quid pro quo, okay? This person is also coming across, dear one, as I'm peering in the ethers here. This could be someone, dear one, they're not new to being a type of person where they have had to pay for sex, okay? Yeah, they're not new to that. So this person could have a lot of experience with, escorts, a lot of pros, okay? Yeah, they could have a lot of experience, dear one, with traveling to different cities or traveling out of town and doing all types of strange things for change, okay? It's giving that, okay? It's also giving the fact, dear one, that this person is the type of person where, they're literally like a loner, but they put on this mask where, they're like a people person, like they love people, like they have a group, but it's kind of like this person is a shapeshifter, because whatever type of, group or network that they get in, they'll try to morph themselves into a certain personality, feel as though they'll be accepted by that particular group. So they're always trying to change and flip who they are and, how they dress and how they speak, okay? This person literally has like some type of identity crisis, okay? And then, they're always in la la land, okay? They're in a fantasy world because they're always alone. This is the type of person, dear one, where regardless of what they do for a living, and for some of these energies, dear one, I'm tapping in, I'm in the ethers, y'all. For some of these particular energies, they could be in the public eye, but Spirit is saying as much as they, are around lots of people, groups of people, they still feel alone because they don't really have that type of connection, or they don't have no type of game to really step up and speak to a person, it's like it's giving that everything around them is very manufactured, okay? And it's very, very difficult for them to step outside of their comfort zone. So they rely on doing janky shit like, love spells. They would never step to a person because they're so rejected. They're so afraid of being rejected. They can't risk that. Nah, they can't risk being their ego bruised. They can't get out there and step toe to toe like everybody else and understand that, when it comes to dating or love, that it's a numbers game and, closed mouths don't get fed, so to speak. Nah, they don't think like that. They think that, their ego is so fragile that rather than risk being rejected, they're just going to do it in a backdoor janky type of way. So they'll see someone that they like, they'll target that person, and then they'll commence to do raggedy janky ass love spells. Dear one, this is how you came into the picture. Come through, Spirit, because in some way, shape, or form, dear one, this person, you got on this person's radar. So this could have been in your work environment. This could have been in a social activity type of environment, okay? Somewhere or another, dear one, or, a proximity where you live. This could be a neighbor, someone, or started off to be a neighbor. But this is someone, dear one, again, they could never approach you, but in some way, shape, or form, dear one, they put you on a pedestal. And they also have this overactive imagination, this overactive fantasy fantasy world. Spirit says this person is also addicted to porn, okay? Yeah, and they also addicted to, rubbing off, whacking off, because, most of the time they by themselves, okay? So, yeah, this is the type of person where, they're trying to focus so much on creating and manipulating energy because they don't have the balls or the chutzpah, or even if this is a female, they don't have the guts to want to step to someone and make it known that they're interested. So they have to do a lot of shit behind the scenes. They have to do a lot of backdoor janky shit, okay? That is this person, okay? Got a lot of issues, okay? This is also the type of person, dear one, where, they get into connections with people that is very transactional. Not only do they put love spells on people, and they did it to you, dear one, because they saw you not only as someone that is very beautiful, very attractive, someone unlike they had never met or seen before, but also, dear one, there was something that they thought that you had that they didn't have. And, they coveted that, and they felt as though, well, hell, I don't have to work hard to get it. All I got to do is get with the person that already got it. And then, what they got becomes mine. So this person, dear one, early on when they saw you as a ripe target, okay, ripe for the pickings, they saw you as someone, dear one, that, hey, she's or he is attractive. They got a little bit of money. They got something. They got some empathy. They got some things that I find valuable that I can benefit from with little to no effort, or without having to put little or, no work into, maintaining this, or, sharing or giving my part, putting up my part of the value on the table. I want to see this person, and I want to be with this person, and I want to get as much as I can out of them with not having to do that much work. Okay. So this person, dear one, in a lot of ways saw you as an easy target. They saw you as vulnerable. They saw you as an easy lick. Okay. And now, considering that, right next to the card where you're the type of person where you're very spiritually gifted, okay, very intuitive, but it's in reverse. So it's something to do with the fact that you may not have known that, or had just recently come into that, or, you've always had people, dear one, that because of who you are, and because of your gifts, they've always been trying to attack you. So then here come this other person, this is a low-key warlock, or a low-key, undercover witch, okay? And they saw you, dear one, and they saw you as someone that was right for the pickings, okay? So yeah, this is one of the reasons, this is the motive in terms of, why they came at you in the first place, and why they saw you as an easy target, so that they, decided that, yeah, I'm gonna cast a love spell on this person, okay? Because of their addictions, because of the fact that, they're in la la land, and they knew that if they would have stepped to you one-on-one, and in the in real life, in your face, that you would have rejected this fucking lame, you would have rejected this loser. So in order for them to protect their ego, they had to do shit behind the scenes, okay, is what I'm hearing from Spirit. Okay, this is a janky here. Also, as I'm looking at the red, dear one, this person, for maybe one or two of these energies that I'm tapping into, dear one, this person is coming in hot. They have some type of gift, okay? They got the gift that keep on giving, okay? And dear one, they thought that, by casting a spell on you, that you were going to be the type of person that they can bind to them and keep you, like you would be their main person, and they could continue to go out in the streets and do their raggedy, janky shit, but they would always have you, someone to come home to, like you would be locked down and binded. It's kind of like they were saying, well, hell, I got it. Come through, Spirit, with that confirmation. We know it to be true. It's kind of like them saying, well, I got it and you got it too. Well, hell, ain't nobody gonna want you but me. Ain't nobody gonna want you now that you got this. So you might as well just, hang tough with me. And in the meanwhile, dear one, they were going out using their body parts like, weapons of fucking mass distraction and mass destruction, okay? Just nasty, okay? Just janky. Ew. Ugh. I'm disgusted, okay? But it's giving that, dear one. So let's get more into the energy, dear one, okay? Who put this spell on you guys, okay? Who cast this love spell on you, okay? And then let's get into some of the reasons as to why, okay? Okay, yeah, this is in reverse as well. This is the number 5 card, wisdom, the number 5 card, wisdom in reverse, dear one. Okay, now for this particular energy that I'm tapping into, dear one, I'm hearing from Spirit. This is someone, dear one, they wanted to cast a love spell on you as a form of revenge in some way, shape, or form. Okay, it's giving that this person was looking at you with a sense of contempt and saying to themselves, Who do you think you are? Okay. This could have been someone, dear one, that was always competing with you on the low, watching you for quite some time, and you guys had no idea, because you mind the business that pays you. You don't be worried about crazy ass motherfuckers. You just doing your thing. Okay. But this person, dear one, is giving that they have been scouting you, looking at you, keeping tabs on you for quite some time, and they didn't like all of the different beautiful high vibrational attributes that you guys have within you. And one of the ones is your intellect, your wisdom. Okay. This person, and comparing him or herself to you, dear one, I'm hearing from spirit, this is someone is giving that they wanted to fuck you and they wanted to be you at the same time, because they were always competing with you. They were always very covetous of your gifts and things that they saw in you that they didn't have but they wanted to have. So it's like literally they wanted to get with you so that they can shut it down. Okay. So for a lot of you guys, it's your intellect, it's you're very brilliant. Okay. Come through, spirit. Those of you guys who chose pile 1, you have a very keen, a very sharp mind. Okay. A lot of you guys could be like intellectual. Some of you guys could be like sapiosexuals, where, you have a very brilliant mind and you're attracted to men or women that have a brilliant mind too. Intellect and intelligence turns you on. Okay. So you could be that type of person, something about wisdom. Okay. And, you're also the type of person where, you're very confident. Okay. Your self-esteem is on point. Okay. So this person, dear one, they were very threatened by you from the start, because they saw you as someone where, unlike them, this person is a fraud. They are fake flexor. They fake the front. They looked at you and they were like, wow, this person is authentic, because they were trying to watch you, dear one, and go out of their way and say that, it was something about you. They were trying to, prove to themselves and prove to those around you that you wasn't real, that you were fake, that, your life wasn't real. And they were really projecting. They didn't think that someone like you that's truthful, honest, brilliant, articulate, that someone like you really exists, because they're so used to being around bottom feeders, because they're a goddamn bottom feeder theirself. Okay, come through, spirit. And so, yeah, this is someone, dear one, it's like they cast a love spell on you because they really wanted to, I'm hearing, shut you down, shut up your gifts. Okay. They were very threatened by your mind. They were very threatened about something that you guys are saying or something that you're doing. So if you're a very talented and gifted person, you have the gift of gab. Okay. You're very gifted in terms of a natural talent, a natural ability, or even then so more of a spiritual talent, a spiritual ability. This person, dear one, it's like they couldn't take it looking at you and seeing that, every time they were trying to compete and compare themselves to you, that they were coming up short. So they were like, yeah, I'm going to do, a love spell on this person. And this person is going to be so enamored with me, so obsessed with me, that they're going to forget everything as far as what they're supposed to be doing. They're going to abort their destiny. They're going to become lazy. They're going to stop focusing on getting the bag. They're going to stop focusing on their path and on their purpose. They're going to focus only on me. And this is the way that I can not only shut this person up, but I can have, I could kill 2 birds with 1 stone. I can get what I want out of them, financially, sexually. They can boost my ego, but then also I can cause them to forfeit their destiny, because they'll be so focused on me they won't have any time or priority to do anything else. Okay, so this is the underlying motive, dear one, of whoever this person is. Okay, that was from a long time. I'm hearing from spirit, at least before you got into some type of situation with this person. Spirit says 4 to 7 months prior to that, they had just been watching you. They had just been, keeping tabs on you. They had just been trying to intrude into your life and into your privacy. What do? What are your likes and dislikes? Who you with? Okay, what they do, where you live, how much money you make. Just a nosy motherfucker. Like they're just trying to, they tried to create some type of dossier on you, is what I'm hearing from spirit. Also that they can know, your vulnerable spots and where they could hit you, but also what they would be able to gain from you after putting a love spell on you. Because people that put love spells on people, dear one, these janky motherfuckers, they always look at the big picture in terms of what they can get out of you under a spell that otherwise they wouldn't have had a chance in hell with you to get in the first place. So for you guys, it has something to do with this person feeling as though they could get you to focus all of your intellect, your creativity, your talents, gifts, and skills on them, and then you would boost them up. You would level them up, but to the detriment of yourself. It's kind of like where people, they write a silent contract with you, dear one. And it's like, they expect for, you can be the most beautiful, brightest, talented person out there on your own doing your thing. But then as soon as you get into a relationship with a person, they think that you're supposed to stop doing everything that you were doing before. Stop being friends with your friends. Stop hanging out with your family that love you. Stop doing your hobbies and your creative things. Stop pursuing your goals. Stop being ambitious, and pour all of that I saw in you in the first place, that made me want to target you in the first place. I want you to pour all of that into me and not into yourself, okay? So it's like this person, dear one, they looked at you like they wanted you to be their own goddamn personal genie in a bottle. I'm gonna rub on you. I want you to manifest for me, not for yourself. I want you to make me look good. I want you to lift me up. I want you to, use your powers to help me manifest. And it's like they had this type of attitude where they just wanted you to pour into them. No. Don't try to be a leader. No. Don't try to, be equal to me. I want you to pour into me. I want you to be my backbone. Well, motherfucker, if I'm your backbone, how am I going to stand up straight? Okay, I need my own motherfucking backbone, and you need yours. Okay, but that's the way that this person is, dear one, how they operate. This particular individual, dear one, whomever this person is that put a lust spell on you, this was their original agenda, their motive for why they wanted to do that in the first place. This is a lazy motherfucker, and it's like they wanted to, put a lust spell on you. They thought that would be the best way that they can get an easy lick. They can get a good life. They can get you to fund their lifestyle, and you wouldn't be going nowhere because they saw you as someone that is very loyal, very dedicated. See, they scoped you out from the start, so they knew some of your qualities already. They knew that you were an empathic person. Come through, spirit. They knew that you were compassionate. They knew that you were intelligent. They knew that you were the type of person where you were very loyal and you love hard, and you don't let everybody in, but when you do let your guard down, it's like all or nothing with you. This person knew that because they had scoped you out for a long time. So they knew that in you they would have someone where once they put that spell on you, it would be so difficult for you guys to get away from them and to wake up, because you would have thought that it was real love. You would have had no idea that janky motherfuckers like this really exist. This person is like, yeah, they're intelligent. Yeah, they're creative. They're gifted. They could even be book smart, but when it comes to the streets, they don't have no street smarts. They don't know about, this dark world. They don't know about the seedy, sketchy shit that goes on. They don't know about motherfuckers like me. So when I come into their life, they won't have a chance. They won't have a clue of what's hitting them. This is what this is what they betted on, dear one, when they came into your life and when they put a love spell on you. Spirit says you will know who this person is. Some of you guys could have met this person when you were at the uni, okay? Some of you guys could have met this person when you were on the verge of getting a promotion. It has something to do around the time when you guys had made some type of come up where it caused you to become, have all eyes on you, and then this person, you became a target to this person because they was like, oh, well, who is this? Okay, yeah, so you were on the precipice of something, a degree, a promotion, okay, some type of move, okay, some type of business, okay, you were being recognized for something, a talent, a gift, a skill, you were getting your foot into the door of some particular industry, niche, or field, and this is where this person first met you and laid eyes on you and decided that, oh, you would be a good lick. You would be somebody that would really help boost them up because they saw that you had a lot of good qualities on your own, but they didn't want you to focus on yourself. They wanted you to focus on them. And they also knew, dear one, that, you're the type of person, dear one, where, you didn't know about none of this shit, okay, prior to, for a lot of you guys most recently, this person knew that you were more gifted spiritually and intuitively. They knew it before you did, okay? Yeah, that's why they were able to lower your guard. That's why they were able to cast a spell on you in the first place, because a lot of you guys were, up until recently, you was like, nah, that type of shit don't exist, or, that don't happen, that's just the movies, okay? But then you realize that, oh, hell, life imitates art, and art imitates life. This is some real shit, okay? Because it happened to me, okay? Come through, spirit, yeah. And so that's this person's, that was their original motive, dear one, for why they wanted to cast a lust spell on you in the first place. What was their motive? What was their agenda? Okay. Also, dear one, this person, they wanted to use your mind. They wanted to use your gifts for themselves. Okay. So this is the type of person, dear one, they get into a lot of shit. They get into a lot of binds. Okay. They hang around people that are very seedy. Come through spirit with this confirmation now. We know it to be true. Yeah. They hang out with a lot of people, dear one, that are very seedy and shady. They get themselves caught up in a lot of situations. So they thought that, dear one, if they could put a love spell on you and hold on to you, and you would be forever dedicated and loyal to them because of that love spell that was on your ass, that, you would be the type of person that could always get them out of a bind. See, because of your wisdom, because of your intellect, because of your gifts, your skills, your abilities. Okay. Again, they wanted to use you for your gifts and what you have. Okay. Get you out of a bind. This is the type of person where, they would use you. Well, baby, I got a deal coming up. I got this business collab. Should I do this or not? Okay. Should I trust this person or not? Okay. I did a certain such and such a thing. Am I going to get caught? Can you do this spell to, protect me? Can you do this spell to cloak me? They literally wanted to use you. But at the same time, it's giving, biting the hands that feeds them, because this person, they were envious of you from the start because of your power, because of your gifts. But at the same time, they wanted to use you and get as much out of you as they can. Okay, is what I'm hearing from spirit. This is a janky motherfucker. Okay. And spirit says you guys know who this person is. Come through, spirit. Let's get in some more tea, you guys. Okay. Who put a love spell on you, you guys? Because you finally realize that, damn, it was never love, it was a love spell. Okay, let's see who is this janky person. All right, come through, spirit. This is in reverse as well. We got a lot of reversals, you guys. I'm hearing reverse the curse, and a lot of you guys have done that. Some of you guys, even though you know who this person is, and you guys have done cord cuttings, you have done cleansings, okay? You have done, spiritual salt protection baths, okay? You have laid down wards and salt lines. You have burned bay leaves. You have done a lot of things, okay? This is the type of motherfucker, dear one, for those of you guys who chose pile one. They want to keep coming back. They want to keep trying to bind you. They want to keep casting the same damn love spells over and over. And a lot of them, dear ones, because of that love spell energy is now returning back to sender. This has caused this person, dear one, to become more obsessed, because the way that they wanted you to feel about them and the way that they wanted to bind you up to them is now how they're feeling. See? And so some of them, dear one, they're now thinking that, ooh, you must have put a lust spell on them. Nah, motherfucker, I didn't. This is your shit that I return back to you. I don't want you, and I don't want nothing that you got, okay? Come through, spirit. Yeah. But this card here, dear one, we have the number 9, material harvest in reverse, okay? The number 9, material harvest in reverse. Come through, spirit. This person, dear one, whomever this energy is, they set out to put a lust spell on you, dear one, because, again, they saw you as someone that was abundant, and they knew that they couldn't get it on their own. This is like, a hobosexual. What do we mean by that? This is someone, dear one, they just want to get somebody so that, they can have that person take care of them while they sit on their ass, scratching their crusty, musty ass nuts, okay? Playing PlayStation, video games and shit all goddamn day, eating your baby cereal at 12 o'clock in the afternoon, laying up on your couch, getting it dirty and funky while you go out into the world and get it and make it do what it do, okay? Yeah, this is someone that, I'm hearing a nurse with a purse, okay? They was looking for someone like you, dear one. Not only are you beautiful, you're intelligent, you're very, very responsible, okay? You may have had to grow up very fast when you were, younger. You had to get it out the mud when you were younger. And so you always have that type of thing where, it's kind of like, hey, if it's going to get done, I got to do it. And, it's sink or swim, and I'm sure not going to goddamn sink, so I'm going to swim. This person saw these very resilient strength qualities of strength and resilience in you from the start. They also know that, you don't have to depend on nobody else to get the bag, because you can get it for yourself, okay? So this person, dear one of their motives for casting a lust spell on you guys in the first place, for this particular janky ass energy that I'm tapping into, they saw you as someone that would fund their lifestyle. You know, they would always have a place to stay, always have a roof over their head, you know, always have a car to drive, even though, you know, they name ain't on that motherfucker. They rarely want to put gas in it, or, you know, take it for maintenance, take it to get an oil change or whatever like that, or even wash the motherfucker. You know, they never would be the type of person to pull their weight, but they would always be somebody where, you know, hey, they know they got a place to stay, they got meals to eat, they getting free sex. All they got to do is keep pretending to, you know, love you, keep them damn lust spells on you, because they would have to do it, you know, very, very often. I'm hearing this person every goddamn blue moon and full moon, goddamn pink moon, new moon, full moon, all of these different types of moons and shit. Okay, this motherfucker was doing some type of work on you, is what I'm hearing from spirit, because they wanted you to fund their lifestyle. They wanted you to take care of them. Okay, this is the type of person, dear one. For a lot of you guys, once they put that spell on you, they did some heavy, you know, love bombing, where they presented themselves to be like, you know, like this knight in shining armor. Oh, baby, you know, I see you working so hard. You ain't got to work so hard like that. We could do this together, okay? You know, two is better than one, okay? Yeah, you ain't got to hold it down by yourself, okay? It's you and me against the world, baby. You know, it's like, you know, why you doing that all by yourself, okay? Now, meantime, they was trying to put up this front that they were coming to help you, that you guys are going to build together, okay? And then the minute that you let your guard down, once that lust spell really began to take a hold on your ass, they did a bait and switch on your ass. All of a sudden they lost their job. All of a sudden that business, you know, fell through. All of a sudden this happened, that happened. All of a sudden they, you know, they sick now, they can't work. Something happened, dear one. Well, now, you know, they wanted to solidify the fact that, you know, due to the lust spell, you love their ass, you ain't going nowhere. Due to the fact, dear one, that, you know, you can get it out the mud by yourself, okay? Due to the fact, dear one, that, you know, they sold you a bill of goods and then they did the bait and switch on your ass. Now they know that, you know, you gonna take care of them. They got free room, free board, free rent, free sex, and you the one that's stressing out and carrying out whole, you know, lion's share of the relationship with this janky motherfucker that you thought loved you. But no, honey, it was never love. It was a love spell, okay? So yeah, you know, they saw you as someone that, hey, she's abundant, he's abundant, hey, they could go out and get it. Hey, you know, they've been doing this for a long time, holding it down on their own. So, you know, I know that they want some help. I know that they want some companionship. I know that, you know, they'll understand that two is better than one if, you know, if I mirror them and pretend as though I have the same goals, I have the same, you know, life path, I have the same, you know, accomplishments, the same things that I want to achieve in life. You know, this would be an easy way for me to get this person to see that, hey, you know, I'm just like them, you know, let's work together. And they tricked you, dear one. And Spirit is saying, some of you guys to this day, you need to forgive yourself. Come through, Spirit. You need to give yourself lots of grace, because this motherfucker came up on you straight up like a wolf in sheep's clothing, and you guys didn't see it coming, okay? So, you know, forgive yourself, okay? You know, you didn't have a chance in hell because, you know, you wasn't used to no predator like this that came towards you, you know, claiming to be a lover when they was really a hater, okay? They was an emotional predator. They was a love fraud. They was love scamming your ass, okay? Yeah, forgive yourself, says Spirit. Give yourself lots of grace, okay? Yeah, I'm hearing it wasn't your fault, okay? I'm going to pull a few more cards, you guys, okay? As y'all know, I don't need that many, okay? I'm already up in the ethers, okay? These cards is for you guys' viewing pleasure, as, you know, the cards confirm what I'm already downloading to you guys, okay? But we're going to pull a few more cards for you, okay? So, Spirit, let my collective know, okay, who put this janky ass lust spell on them, whether it was most recent or whether it was someone from their past. And now you want them to, you know, be clear about what took place with this particular person, okay? Who put a lust spell on them? And let's get into a little bit of why, okay, Spirit? Oh, check this out, y'all. We have clingy. This is the first time this card has come out during the live stream. We have clingy, old exes, dead relationships, and old ways. Come through, Spirit. Spirit is just confirming. Yeah. So this particular person, dear one, Spirit just outlined for you the type of person that this is. Okay. For one or more of you guys, this is an old ex for sure. Okay. Also, dear one, this is someone that you guys were in a dead relationship with. Okay. Because again, they did the bait and switch on your ass. They made it seem like, being with them, you were going to, level up, but really, they presented themselves to be an asset to you, but they really turned out to be a goddamn liability. Because when you were with this person, okay, when this spell was on your ass, before, the spell had lifted, and before, the wool was removed from your eyes, you were doing very well for yourself when you was by yourself, or when you was not with this person. But then slowly but surely, when you got tied up and binded up to this person, all of your good things, your money, your credit for some of y'all, your good luck, your good mojo, promotions, your health, your beauty, your youth, your energy, all of the good things in your life started to go to shit. And the motherfucker that you was with, they started to come up, and you were going on a downward spiral. And that's because they were siphoning your energy through the love spell. They were siphoning your energy through intimacy. Some of them, dear one, they were siphoning energy. All they had to do was talk to you. Their voice patterns, the transfer of their communication energy from their vessel to yours was enough to bind you, okay? Was enough to transfer their energy, their bad luck, their motherfucking karma onto you, okay? Now, that's witch shit 101. I ain't got time to really get into it right now, okay? For those of you guys that down with the shit, if you know, you know. And then, we might talk about it at a later time, if Spirit say that it be so, okay? Yeah. But this person, dear one, very, very clingy. So this person, dear one, number one, they put a love spell on you also, because they knew that, that was the only way that they would be able to keep you, because you would sooner or later wake up and say, hey, this person's not living up to their part of the bargain. This person is not bringing me help. They're not helping me build. They're tearing me down. They're more of a liability. They're putting too much stress on me, too much financial burden on me. They're just bringing me down. They're dead weight. Now, see, they had to put their spell on you, because if they didn't put a spell on you, you would have left their ass a long time ago. Or some of y'all, you would have just looked at them, scanned their energy, and your ancestors would have said, hell no, exit stage left, quickly and expeditiously. Don't even say hi, okay? Don't even, go past, go and collect 200. Just go. Just move the other way, okay? If you see that, make a U-turn. That's not the one, okay? Yeah. So, dear one, that's one of the reasons, why they put a love spell on you, because they knew that, you were out of their league from the jump. So they had to bring you down. They had to lower your vibration. They had to bring you down in some way, shape, or form, through the love spell, because that would be the only way that they can reach you, to have access to you, to make it look like, they were somebody that, you would be interested in, that they could present themselves as being someone that would be, a positive in your life, okay? That's why they had to do that, okay? Is what I'm hearing from Spirit. But this is definitely someone that, this relationship from the start, it was a dead relationship. This mofo probably was boring, broke, didn't want to spend no money on you, didn't want to validate you, loved everything about you, ladies, loved your hair, loved the way you dressed, loved the way, you did this and that. And then as soon as they got into a relationship with you, they tried to break you down. Everything that they claimed they loved about you, all of a sudden now they wanted to use it against you like some type of weapon. Why are you wearing that? Why are you putting on makeup for? Who you trying to look good for? Motherfucker, you saw me with makeup when you first met me. Why you trying to act all new? Okay, yeah, that's this type of person, everything about you, the fact that, you're just beautiful, bright, high vibrational, made a lot of friends, could be quirky and things of that nature. Why you talking so much? Why you flirting? I ain't flirting. This is my natural fucking personality. Well, look like you flirting to me. All of a sudden now they don't want to take you out. They don't want you to go out. They want you to be like some type of bird with clipped wings, okay? That's this person. Spirit says you know who it is, okay? Yeah. Dear one, we're going to move on to pile 2, okay? Spirit says that's enough of the tea that you guys need to set you free. For those of you guys who chose pile 1, I'm going to give you guys some signs, okay? Then we're going to move on to pile 2, okay? All right, here we go. Thank you, Spirit. For those of you guys where this message most resonates, you or they, dear one, could very well be a Pisces, Taurus, Capricorn, Gemini, Aries, Aquarius, Libra, Cancer, Virgo. Thank you, Spirit. I'm also hearing Scorpio moon, Aquarius rising, Sagittarius rising, Capricorn rising. Lots of risings here because the truth is coming to the surface. Come through, Spirit. And Libra moon. If I didn't say so already, Libra is very strong as well. All right. That's for those of you guys. Thank you, Spirit. That's for those of you guys who chose pile 1. Okay. Yeah. Now, for those of you guys who chose pile 2, dear one, okay, we have the card. I'm going to flip it so you guys can see it. It's choose wisely, the number 7, choose wisely, but it was in reverse, okay? And again, dear one, this is the energy of you that is exuding from the card at the time of this read, okay? All right. So for those of you guys who chose pile 2, dear one, okay, you're the type of person where, you know, you didn't really have a lot of help in life. You didn't really have a lot of people that try to help you and mentor you and, you know, be like, you know, I see where you go in life, you know, you got a bright future. I'm going to help you do this. I'm going to help you do that. You guys didn't have a lot of people that take you under their wing, okay? And it was due to jealousy. I want you to know that. It had nothing to do with you. It wasn't the fact that you were unworthy, unattractive, you know. It wasn't none of that. It's just that you had people, dear one, that from the jump that they saw you and looked into your eyes, they had an issue, they had a problem with you, and they wanted to make your life as hard as it could be. They wanted you to struggle. They didn't want you to have any help. They didn't want you to stand on their shoulders and go further than them. The same come through, Spirit, hold me back now. Now I'm gonna say it. The same motherfuckers, dear one, where they were supposed to love you and encourage you, they were the main ones that were competing with you and trying to hold you back. They were the main ones that were sending you out into the world with not enough information, with not enough, you know, guidance to keep yourself safe and protected. They threw you to the wolves, and then they had the motherfucking audacity to laugh at your ass and to persecute your ass when you got caught up and when you had to learn things the hard way. But they was never there to help you. They meant for you to struggle, and then they sat back there and mocked you like you were supposed to just come out of the womb automatically knowing what to do and what not to do. That's what it's giving. For those of you guys who chose pile 2, you guys had to really get it out of the mud. You guys had to learn things the hard way. So, you know, a lot of you guys, you look around and you look at your peers and you look at even people in your family, some of them older than you, some of them younger than you. And, you know, you're looking at them like, damn, you know, they got this, they got that. I feel like I could have been a lot further in life. And Spirit is saying you could have, but don't beat yourself up over it. Don't, you know, give yourself lots of grace, because when everybody else was getting helped, when everybody else was getting supported, when everybody else was getting lifted up, dear one, you had to fight for your life. You had to fight for love, fight for support, fight for validation, do shit on your own, learn shit the hard way, you know, learn from your mistakes, you know, fight off battles and shit that you did, a lot of battles that didn't even have nothing to do with you. Come through, Spirit, because a lot of people projected their shit onto you. So you was the one in the family where someone had labeled you guys to be the black sheep, the scapegoat. You know, I'm gonna blame you for my addiction. I'm gonna blame you for my poverty. I'm gonna blame you for the reason why I'm jealous and the reason why I want to talk about you or put my hands on your ass in the first place. Everything was your motherfucking fault. So you had to get it out the mud. You had to, you know, lean in and encourage and depend on yourself. And a lot of you guys, Spirit is saying, for those of you guys who chose pile 2, this is why you're so heavily protected spiritually now. This is why you have such a high calling over your life now. Because most of the people in you guys' world and around you, people that you can see and touch in the flesh, these are motherfuckers that hate your ass, that will be gunning for your ass. But it will be strangers, come through, Spirit. It will be people that you don't know. People that don't know nothing about your history, nothing about your past, okay? People that you guys will meet in this current timeline. Those will be the ones that will be your greatest supporters. It will never be those that you know, okay? I'm hearing the sacred text, you know, a prophet is not honored in his or her own hometown, okay? These are motherfuckers, dear one, where you guys had, a lot of you guys had to leave these motherfuckers from your hometown, because when they should have been lifting you up, they was too busy trying to stab you up, metaphorically, and some of them goddamn literally, okay? Come through, Spirit. I'm hearing life insurance policy for some energy that I'm tapping into here. Okay, I don't like the energy. I don't like it. Okay, yeah, but you guys had to struggle. You really had to, you know, learn things the hard way. And Spirit kept encouraging you guys and telling you guys, that's all right, baby. Just keep moving. That's all right, baby. Just put one foot in front of the other. You gotta crawl before you walk, okay? You gotta walk before you run. You gotta run before you fly. Just keep moving, okay? You guys had to get a lot of encouragement from spirit because the motherfuckers around you in flesh, they didn't want you to make it. They didn't want you to succeed, okay? So a lot of you guys, your biggest support system is people that you don't know, and the spirit realms, your ancestors, your guardian and warring angels, the mighty army that you guys have. Because the people that were around you, even some of them that's still looking at you to this day, even if you might have relocated or left they raggedy asses, these are the ones they will never help you, but they will definitely be gunning for you. But the minute that you succeed, all of a sudden they want to come back around. See all of these hands come through spirit? They want to come back around with their motherfucking hands out. Can you loan me? Can you lend me? All of a sudden now they know you. That's my cousin. That's my... Get the fuck out of here. I don't know you, hoe. And you don't know me. Don't you try to claim me, because where the fuck was you when I was trying to get it out of the mud now, bitch? Don't act like you know me now. You don't know me, ho. Don't even say my name. Hold me back, spirit. I say hold me. Yeah. So that's for those of you guys who chose pile 2. That's a little bit of the energy. Again, I could go on and on, but I'm going to have to cut it loose so I can give y'all some of this read. Okay? Come through, spirit. So yeah, let's get into it, y'all. Okay? Who put this janky ass love spell on you? Okay? Who did it and why? Tell me, spirit. Share this news. Share this tea for my collective. Okay? All right, let's see, y'all. We got the number 2, the waiting game. The number 2, the waiting game. Come through, spirit. This is giving, dear one, someone that, for quite some time, they have been pining over you, holding some type of torch for you. And they felt as though, you were taking too long to give them a shot. You were taking too long to come back around. This could have been someone, dear one, where, it was some type of friendship and it never quite got off the ground. And they were hoping, dear one, that they would get another opportunity. And I'm hearing missed opportunity. They would get a chance to, to get back into your good graces or whatever the case may be. So they waited and they waited. And, some of them, they were lying to themselves, a collective, they'll be back. They just mad. They just trying to power struggle with me. Or, they'll be back. They on top right now. But I tell you what, when they begin to lose all of their shit, when they begin to lose everything that they've been working so hard for, because not only am I going to put a janky love spell on their ass, I'm going to do a poverty spell too. All of a sudden then, I'm going to look real good to their ass where, right now they ignoring me. But that's because they got their own money, they got their own bag, they got their own home, they got their own car. But when they lose every damn thing, all of a sudden I'm going to become a contender. Yeah, so this person, dear one, come through, spirit. This janky mofo, they cast a lust spell on you, dear one, because, they got tired of waiting. They got tired of you waiting to wake up and see that, they are the one for you. They are the viable person, willing and able to be in your life. They really are your soulmate. For some of y'all, they really are your twin flame. And so they got tired of waiting, okay? And so they decided they want to take matters into their own hands. And so this is why they did that janky ass love spell shit, okay? Because this person is very delusional, dear one. And in some way, shape, or form, they think that belong to them. They think that, they're supposed to be a part of your life script. They're a part of your purpose, okay? They feel as though, it was meant to be. But this person, dear one, it's like they're trying to force their way into your life. They're trying to force their way into your purpose. They're trying to write themselves into your destiny where they don't motherfucking belong. And then that's why they ended up putting or casting a lust spell on you in the first place. So they got tired, they got tired of waiting. I want to be with you, you don't want to come around. So, okay, all right, you going to keep playing hard to get? Okay, I got something for your ass. That's the energy, okay? And dear one, I'm also hearing, this is the type of person, dear one, this person is very, very fucking greedy. Because as I'm looking in the ethers here, this is someone, dear one, they always got somebody. And even from the time that they put this janky ass love spell on you, whether you knew it or not, they had somebody on the side, they had somebody in the background, they had somebody lurking behind the scenes, lurking in the cut. This person has been attached to somebody all along, but they greedy, okay? They want their cake and eat it too. So this could have been a person there one, they could have presented themselves to be single, but they very much so was not, okay? They could have been in a relationship or a relationship. Some of them was married and they was, hiding their marriage because the wife is all the way in 3 states away or another part of the country or hell in another country, and they were trying to present themselves as being single. You ain't single, motherfucker. You very much tied up, okay? Yeah, but then, dear one, they're greedy. They didn't want just what they had. They wanted that and you. So it's also given like polyfuckery. It's also given like, they wanted to have some type of arrangement where it was all about, yeah, I want you to play your position. I want you when I want you. I want you on the side. I want you whenever I want you, but I don't want nobody else to have you. I don't want you to go and I want you to be free because I don't want nobody to treat you better than, I could or ever would. So yeah, the only way that I'm going to be able to rectify that situation is to put a love spell on your ass, okay? That's the motivation, and that's just raggedy motherfucker, okay? Come through, spirit. Let's find out some more tea, you guys, okay? Who put the love spell on you, dear one, okay? And why, okay? This is definitely someone, dear one, that's lame, okay? They ain't got no, no gift of gab, okay? They're not honest. The integrity is, gone to shit. They have no integrity, okay? And, they're really, a wuss, okay? It's giving big bitch energy, whether they're male or whether they're female. This is the type of person they could never step to toe to toe and just say, hey, I like you. Hey, can I get to know you? Can I get your number? This and that. Nah, they got to do janky shit behind the scenes because they're so deathly afraid of your rejection. Okay, so they want to make sure that they can do everything they can to make sure that the rejection rate will be very, very low, if not impossible. Okay, that's this motherfucker. Okay. So they looked at you from the start, dear one, as I'm looking at your card here. And, you're the type of person, dear one, where, you may have always had a lot of suitors around you. You have always had a lot of options around you. But the options were not always, high vibrational. The options were not always, top tier. And so this person, dear one, they wanted to get in where they fit in with you because they saw that, you were very much so a lot of people wanted you guys. A lot of people wanted to be in your life. But, they were not of that high quality caliber. And so this person, dear one, they wanted to, cut through the competition. They wanted to be the number one janky in your life. And, they got tired of waiting. So they just thought that they would put the situation in their own hands. Okay. And they would do, that janky ass juju on you. Okay. Yeah, that's what happened. Also saw, dear one, that some of you guys, because you were hard workers, okay, you guys could have always been holding down multiple jobs, or you always had, multiple streams of income, again, because you didn't have anyone else to rely on. It was kind of like you didn't have no safety net. So you had to have all of the backup plans came from you. It came from your plan A, your plan B, and your plan fucking C. Okay. It was just you, yourself, and you, spirit, and your ancestors. Okay. Yeah. This person saw you as an easy lick. Hard worker, beautiful, intelligent, got a lot of suitors, but yeah, they don't really know. They won't see me coming because, they ain't dealt with a motherfucker like me before. Yeah, that's what it's giving there, okay? You didn't see this person coming. Spirit says forgive yourself, okay? Give yourself grace now, okay? You know about the dark world now. You know about it now, okay? Yeah, you know about people gunning for your ass now. You know about people coming into your life and a motherfucker can tell you they love you, but just because somebody tell you that they love you don't mean that they do. Because a motherfucker could say they love you, they want to fuck you, but then they want to kill you the next day. Okay, come through, spirit. Yeah. And just because somebody, lusts for you, that don't mean that, they want to do right by you. That don't mean that, they see the beautiful qualities in you. Some of them, dear one, they just look at your ass and see you as a body part walking down the street. And they like, yeah, I want that. I gotta have that. Okay. Now, see, y'all didn't maybe know that back in the day. You maybe wasn't hip to that back in the day. Your mind was on other things. Your mind was on survival. Your mind was on getting your stability and security. You wasn't worried about, okay, where's the next goddamn predator around me within my 100-mile radius or vicinity. You wasn't worried about that. You wasn't worried about, is this person that's talking to me or saying hi to me or trying to get to know me? Is this a goddamn sociopath? You wasn't thinking like that, okay? So, forgive yourself. That's what I'm hearing from Spirit. A lot of you guys, you need to forgive yourself, okay? Because a lot of you guys are pissed and you have a lot of guilt. And Spirit says it was not your fault, okay? But you know, what didn't kill you made you stronger. Now you know how to battle up. Now you can see a motherfucker like this, you know, a mile away. You can sniff them out. And you know, you can tell they ass the exit stage left quickly and expeditiously before you even waste any time, money, or energy on a clown like this, okay? Is what I'm hearing from Spirit. Also, Spirit is saying now you guys can recognize those feelings. You ain't never met this motherfucker, you know, you don't know him from a can of paint. Then all of a sudden he come into your life and start love bombing you, saying it was meant to be. And all of a sudden it went from you don't know this person to now you can't stop thinking about them and they always on your mind. Now you know, hey, that's a spell. That's manipulation, because that's not organic. That's not real, okay? You don't go from ground zero, I don't even know you, to all of a sudden I can't live without you. What happened to everything in the middle? Yeah, so see, now y'all hip to the game. Come through, Spirit. You had to learn that, okay? All right, Spirit. Okay, let's give him a little bit more tea, okay? Who put this spell on you, dear one? Who put the spell on you and why, okay? I'm hearing that song. I put a spell on you because you're mine. Come through, Spirit. I think that's Nina Simone, okay? Old school. Yeah, this was some motherfucker like that, okay? Doing all of that janky, and then they wanted to pat themselves on the back, dear one. Oh, they was very proud of themselves. Because, you know, they had homeboys and homegirls that was looking at them and they was like, damn, you pulled that? Where you get her from? Where you get him from? Damn. Do she got a brother? Do she got a sister? Do he got a brother? Do he got a sister? And meanwhile, this motherfucker was patting himself on the back, believed his own lies, forgot to, remember that it's not love, it's motherfucking love spell. She don't love your ass, he don't love your ass, and as soon as they wake up, they gonna see you for the rank jank motherfucker that you are, and you gonna get your ass handed to you. Yeah, come through, Spirit. And that's what has happened to a lot of them, dear one. And then the next card we have, you guys, this was in reverse. The number 7, Triumph. The number 7, Triumph, okay? It was in reverse. I'm hearing from Spirit. Now, I'm feeling the energy that this is someone, dear one, that put a love spell on you. And for this particular energy, you found out, okay? The spell wore off, okay? And then, you went ghost, okay? You was like, I'm out of here. You're not going to bind me. You're not going to tie me down, you crazy motherfucker. I've been getting dreams. I've been getting downloads, okay? My grandmother had been coming to me in dreams, telling me to do this, telling me to do that. Oh, I'm on to your ass, motherfucker. I'm on to you. Yeah, And so this person, dear one, that put a love spell on you, he realized that you woke up, that the spell wore off and you was on to him or her. And then they got pissed, dear one. So then they try to go harder and harder, trying to do more spells. But the more that you guys became awakened, the weaker and weaker that the spells got, to the point where all of a sudden now the spells, they just bounce off of you and they return back to sender. So this motherfucker really think that you're putting spells on them because now they're obsessed with you. And you're like, nah, motherfucker, I don't want you. I'm not putting nothing on you. That's the shit that you was trying to put on me, and it returned back to your dumb, stupid ass. I don't want you. Come through, Spirit. So this person, dear one, they're still trying to go out of their way. And even as I look at the number 7 here, this is like a part of spiritual warfare. This person has literally waged war with you because they feel as though, you're the type of person where they so pissed off. Who do you think you are? You can't tell them no. They also feel embarrassed. They also feel exposed that you have, gotten hip to the game, okay? And you have done your work, okay? So that, now all of their love spells are returning back to sender. They're bouncing off of you, okay? And every time something goes on, every time this motherfucker light a candle, every time this motherfucker whack off or rub off, your ancestors will be like, boop, 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 boop. Get up and do a spiritual bath. This motherfucker is at it again. Boop, 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 boop. Get up and, read your Psalms, okay? Psalms, 19 or whatever the case may be, because this motherfucker is at it again, okay? Boop, 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 boop. Get up and, put a salt line around your windows and in front of your door, because this motherfucker is at it again. They're trying to send incubus, succubus spirits to you at night in the dream state when you're most vulnerable. Get up and pray, and then also light you an Archangel Michael candle, because this janky motherfucker is at it again. And dear one, you're blocking them. Come through, Spirit. You're blocking them and you're stopping them, and they're getting pissed off because they're getting the memo that you've gotten too much stronger, that you have ascended ascended higher, that your spiritual rank has outranked them, that now you know what's going on. And so now, dear one, they want to make it a game, okay? Now they want to have a witch war with you. Now it has gone beyond, oh, I want to be with you, and I know that, unless I put this spell on you, you ain't going to want me because I'm not on your level, because, I'm a fucking weirdo and I'm not your type, okay? It's gone beyond that. Now it's like, oh, you think you bad, bitch, okay? You think you stronger than me? Okay, we going to war. So now this person got something to try to prove to themselves, dear one, okay? They see you winning and they don't want you to win, okay? They don't want to give up. This person has become obsessed, okay? And then they become more obsessed because every time they do a spell and they turn back on their ass, they become more and more obsessed with you, okay? To the point where it's plaguing their mind. They're losing sleep. They can't eat. They can't sleep. If they were a certain weight, they either underweight or they gaining weight. The hygiene is thrown off. This motherfucker, whoever he or she is, they so deep into this shit. They so caught up with these damn incubus, succubus spirits. They ain't even washing their ass, okay? Yeah, they wearing the same goddamn clothes, the same goddamn drawers. Some of them did one day ain't even got no damn job, so they got too much damn time on their hands to be lurking and cyber lurking on your goddamn social media, okay? Some of these motherfuckers that be in y'all social media and your comment section, Route 4251X, that's that motherfucker X that put a spell on your ass, okay? Yeah, they in your damn comment section, okay? Crawling in your damn chat like the roaches that they were born and designed to be. That's that motherfucker, okay? And dear one, spirit is saying, for one particular energy that I'm tapping into, dear one, this person or you, I'm hearing indigenous, they could come through spirit with this confirmation now. We know it to be true. I thank you for that. Yeah. You or this person, dear one, could either be indigenous, like, you or he could be West Indian. This is a sign for one of you guys out there for this particular stream, this particular energy. You or he could be West Indian, or you or he could be indigenous, like, Nigerian. From Sierra Leone, Nigeria, okay, Saudi Arabia, Eritrea, EU, London, UK, Canada, specifically Ontario, come through spirit. It's coming through like that. I also keep hearing brujeria. So this person could be, of Hispanic, ancestry, or you, okay, Puerto Rican, Dominican, Brazil, okay? It is giving that for this particular energy that I'm tapping into. Now they want to have war with you. And some of them, dear one, they have hired people. Come through spirit. They have paid somebody. They have either gone on a recent trip to their homeland, or some of them, dear one, I'm hearing like, okay, New York or some type of place where it is very, very much so like a melting pot, like very culturally diverse. They have gone into those botanicas in the back room, okay? And they have hired high priests, high priestesses, babalawas, okay? Ifa, Santeria practitioners on your ass, okay? Because they mean to make an example out of you. This person could also belong to a coven, okay? They could be some type of secret warlock or witch, okay, in a coven or a clique. I'm also hearing brotherhood, sisterhood. They could be a Mason or an Eastern Star. They can be in Scientology. They could be a Jehovah's Witness, okay? They can be Kojic, Church of God in Christ, okay? Yeah, they hide about being in the church and, talking about Lord, Lord, Lord. But then on Saturday, they doing that janky shit. They got you on the altar, they stringing up cats and shit. They cutting up, chickens and shit, and not to eat them, dear one. Yeah. They burning rats and shit. This motherfucker is ill, okay? This is their sacrifice that they're doing. They're taking like animals, birds and shit, squirrels, and they're mutilating squirrels and shit, trying to make an offering. This person is weird, okay? Yeah. But Spirit says you guys are protected, and you're going to keep on getting these downloads about what to do, how to continue to protect yourself, okay? Yeah, and even protect yourself from, the hired practitioner, shall I say, that this person is coming into some type of contract or agreement with, paying money. Some of them traveling to their hometown, traveling abroad, okay? Or finding the nearest, practitioner where they live in an urban city, okay? Yeah, they're doing the janky there, okay? Spirit says, stay on those motherfuckers. Don't let your foot off his neck. Don't let your foot off her neck, okay? Because before it's all said and done, they mama gonna have to buy that black dress. Yeah, because you know what? It's been some slow singing and flower bringing, and your ancestors' alarms are ringing, and they done told this motherfucker come through spirit to leave you alone, and they act like they hard hearing. So you know what they say, y'all? Soft. What is it? Hard head make a soft ass. Yeah, this person gonna find out the long way and the strong way. Come through spirit. Yeah. Let's get a little bit more tea there, one, on who put this spell on you and why, okay? Yeah, somebody is psychopathic here for one particular energy that I tapped into. Yeah, so y'all gotta, keep up with your spiritual protection and your spiritual hygiene. This motherfucker is like the Terminator. They just won't stop. They just won't quit, okay? And then, they done recruited people. Then, they in some type of janky-ass, skid row, back alley-ass, low-budget-ass coven there. Yeah. I see them. Come through spirit. All right, let's see what else, you guys. We have awareness. The number one, it was in reverse, you guys. The number one, awareness, okay? It's in reverse, okay? Yeah, so I'm hearing from spirit, dear one. This is kind of piggying off that same stream where now someone is continuing to do lust spells, to cast lust spells against you, because in the past, dear one, it either didn't work, or in the past it worked, but then it quickly wore off because your ancestors alerted you and you guys got to work, okay? And so now it has gone beyond, I want to bind you up and cast a lust spell on you because I want to be in a relationship with you. Now it has become like this tool of war, of warfare. And so this person now, they putting this lust spell on you, dear one. They think that you're dumb. They think that if they can put a lust spell on you, that you're going to forget everything that they have done to you prior. They think that you're not going to be able to look at them with your third eye and see that this person is evil and wicked and diabolical. They think that you're not going to be able to read their energy and read their spirit and tell that they're very low vibrational and that they mean you no good. So it's like they're really trying to put a lust spell on you now, dear one, because it's like they're trying to dumb down your senses. You know how certain people say that, love is blind, and sometimes when you're in a relationship you get stupid, okay? You forget all about your purpose, you forget all about your path, you forget all about your friends, your loved ones, you forget all about taking care of yourself, and it's like you just literally become obsessed with this person, this one person. This is what this person is hoping, dear one. They're hoping that they can put some type of lust spell on you where it literally becomes like a domination spell, where it binds your mind to the point where you're not thinking straight. You only thinking about this person 24/7. You only thinking about what's going to make this person happy 24/7, to the detriment of your health, your sleep, your money, your stability, your security. They really coming for your mind. I'm hearing love binding, okay? Yeah, they want you to be obsessed with them, okay? And forget, literally not be able to be aware of this person and who they are and what they're coming with, okay? Yeah, it is just really, really, diabolical is what it is, okay? It is giving that, dear one, okay? Yeah, this person doesn't want you to be aware. They want you to be blinded. I keep hearing third eye blind, okay? Yeah. I'm going to pull a few more cards, you guys, okay? And then I'm going to give you guys some signs, okay? And then we're going to turn it loose, okay? All right, let's just see here. Come through spirit. What do you want to let my collective know, okay? Some more as far as who put this spell on them, okay? And why, okay? All right, come through spirit. We have envy, resentful, competitive, and discontent. Yeah, this is the same. It's on the same stream. This person now, dear one, they're using lust spells because they're envious of the fact that you're strong. They're envious of the fact that, these lust spells are working on you anymore. They're returning back to this person and they're becoming more and more obsessed with you, okay? To the fact where, they're not even able to function in life at this point, okay? And also, dear one, some of them, their ego has been bruised because they were bragging to people around them, particularly for this energy that is in some type of coven or clique or group, okay? Now that people around them are, they're clowning this person because they was like, I thought you was so strong. I thought, you was all this and you was all that, okay? You the grand master high priest, you the grand master high priestess, but you know, you can't seem to get this woman or get this man in line, okay? You ain't as strong as you pretended to be, you know, this and that. So this person, you know, their ego is bruised, they're embarrassed. I'm hearing public humiliation. Some of them, dear one, they belong to some type of society where they have been demoted, okay? And so now they're out for blood, okay? They're very resentful and they're very competitive. So they won't stop, okay? Because they got to prove to themselves that, you know, they're the winner. They got to prove to themselves by any means necessary that they're stronger than you after all. You know, maybe they need to tweak another thing. Maybe they need to add another herb. Maybe they need to do something different or take away something on the next full moon or the next new moon. But, you know, I'm bringing the ethers. I'm going to get you, bitch. I'm hearing in the ethers, I'm gonna get you, motherfucker. Yeah, it's like this type of, you know, obsession, you know. They have a compulsion. They wake up in the morning thinking about you, dear one, and they go to bed at night thinking about you, okay? It's giving ill. They need to take their meds, okay? And some of them, they need a goddamn exorcism because they have a whole lot of entities on them. This person that has been doing those animal sacrifices and shit, okay? They have landed some type of entity attachment on them, and they don't know how to get rid of this entity attachment. And one of those entity attachments is like, I'm hearing like Python, I'm hearing like Jezebel. This person has like an incubus succubus spirit on them, so it causes them to be addicted to trying to win, addicted to trying to do lust spells, addicted to whacking off, rubbing off, addicted to watching porn, addicted to what some of these mofos, they watch that dirty raggedy janky shit on the dark web. You know, I'm hearing like snuff porn, you know, the type of porn they like to watch where, you know, somebody getting choked out, you know, that turns them on, you know, or somebody, you know, being violated, you know, being raped, you know, that turns them on. This person is sick. Okay, yeah, y'all need to know that. Okay, yeah, but dear one, in a nutshell, Spirit says that's enough tea right there. In a nutshell, dear one, that is, you know, the qualities, the traits of this person who put a spell on you, a love spell. And you know, Spirit is saying, honey, it was never real, it was never love, it was a love spell. And a lot of you guys, as you were listening to this read and you were getting, you know, confirmation, Spirit says you know who this person is. Some of you guys know that, you know, fortunately, you know, this person is out of your life. You have moved on. There's no connection. They don't know where you are. You know, they can't find you. You know, they didn't move on to their next target. That's for some of you guys. But then some of you other ones, you know, you still in their radar. They still obsessing. They still pining. They still trying to win. They're still very competitive. I'm going to get you. I'm going to get your ass by any means necessary. Because now they got, you know, they got to, you know, restore their ego. You know, they got to restore their, street cred, their janky coven cred, or whatever the case may be. Yeah, so that they won't stop, dear one. So y'all got to stay on your P's and Q's, okay? Yeah, you got to stay on your P's and Q's here. And this person, dear one, they could also be someone that is giving, they have a religious front, but they're very much so into, you know, the occult on the dark side. You know, when I say dark side, I mean on the dark side where, you know, they primarily use it to violate a person's free will. They primarily use it to bind up a person. They primarily use it because they're so insecure and they so bitch made that, you know, every time someone makes them feel bad or rejects them, or they feel as though somebody says or does something that they don't like, they always trying to put somebody on a motherfucking altar. Okay, that's this type of energy. But it's giving hypocrite because it's giving that what they do in the dark is not the same thing that they're showing people in the light. So, you know, this person could be, you know, claiming to be an avid Muslim. You know, I pray to the east, I do this, I do that. And then when you ain't looking, that motherfucker drinking beer and tearing up some goddamn ribs and a pork chop sandwich, okay, in the nighttime. But in the daytime, they swear up and down, oh, it's Ramadan, you know, assalamu alaikum, a hypocrite here, okay? And then doing all of that janky ass shit on the low, okay? Or they could be, you know, posturing as a Christian, but then they doing a lot of things at night, okay? Ain't nothing Christian about it. Yeah, it's giving that, dear one. So, okay, keep yourself protected, okay, is what I'm hearing from Spirit, okay? So I'm going to give you guys some signs, all right? And then I'm going to say hi to the chat, to as many of you guys as I can, okay? Give you guys some shout outs, okay? Then we're going to turn it loose, okay? All right, so here we go. Come through, Spirit. For those of you guys where this message most resonates, you or they, dear one, could very well be a Taurus, Cancer, Capricorn, Virgo, Sagittarius, Libra, Leo, Cancer, and Aries. Aries was kind of hiding there. Also, I'm hearing Virgo moon, Sagittarius rising, Aqua moon and Aqua rising, Pisces moon, Aries rising, and Aries moon. Thank you, Spirit. Somebody could have a nickname, Tootie. Tootie. That came through. Tuka. Took Took. Evelyn. Yanni. Shay Shay. Cynthia. David. Nicole. Nikki. Or Nick. Nicholas. All of those wanted to come out. Sissy. That could be somebody's nickname. Sissy. Okay. All right. Those are some names, dear one, that wanted to pop up through out of the ethers, okay? That could be your name, your nickname, could be somebody that you know. It could be this janky mofo that put a love spell on you, or it could be one of their friends or family members or someone in their network that they hang around, okay? That's for those of you who chose pile 2, okay? Pile 2 wanted names to come out. Pile 1, I don't believe that I did names for you guys, okay? Spirit didn't pull out any names for card 1, okay? I mean pile 1. All right, y'all. So let me turn my head and look at the chat, okay? And woo, yeah, we got a lot of comments, you guys. I'm not going to be able to get to all of them while we're on the live stream, but I will definitely read them afterwards, okay, after the video continues or finishes its processing, shall I say. But I'm going to give a few of you guys some shout outs, okay, before I turn it loose, all right? All right, so we have T here, Tam C, B3G. Hi, will Yannick come back to me? Thanks in advance for your kindly time. Okay, so Tam C, I'm not answering any of the yes, no oracle questions right now, okay? So I want you to keep showing up hard, okay? The more that I see you in the chat, okay, you will more than likely be one of the persons that I will select to do a free yes or no oracle message on the days when I decide that I'm going to pull someone from the chat and answer their question, okay? So hold on to your question, love, okay? All right, then Queen of Blunt Truth says pile 2. She chose pile 2. She says, but pile 1 I came in on is resonating. Yeah, dear one, sometimes, you know, regardless of whatever particular pile that you select, you might find some messages and, you know, either pile or both piles, okay, because the energy is very fluid, the energy is very transient, okay? So yeah, okay, I'm glad that you did find some messages that resonated so you can be hip to what's going on and you can protect and govern yourself accordingly, okay? That's the most important thing, okay? And then we have Queen Love Princess, okay? 1914 says hi. Hi, Queen Love. How are you doing, sweetheart? Okay, hope that you are well. Yes, all the way you says hi. Hello, how are you? Yes, all the way you. I like that name. It's pretty cool, okay? And then we have Alien World 369, okay? Has a little emoji that's laughing there, okay? So I must have, you know, tickled you a little bit there, okay? When I was giving this read, okay? You got a little chuckle there, okay? All right, and then Pamela says, Pamela Smith, 06H, if they want change, maybe start with celibacy, celibacy, go within, find there's better than what's been in their space, not judging, just try some clean lifestyle, clean vessel. Absolutely, dear one, That is definitely a message, okay? But unfortunately, those people that feel as though they have no other alternative but to try to violate someone's free will by putting a love spell on them, that particular message that you have to give to us is so high vibrational that it'll go in one ear and out of the others with these particular people that do janky shit like this, okay? But you're absolutely right, okay? Yeah, you know, you need to live a different type of higher vibrational lifestyle, okay? Yeah. And then Ontario says absolutely. So definitely there were some messages that resonated. Lisa Stansu says, hi dear. Hi Lisa, how are you, love? Okay. And then Lisa says, no, goodbye to him and the past. I know that's right. I refuse him completely. Yes. And keep on saying that in the spirit and in the flesh. Okay. Yeah. And then Cards Blake says, this is my first visit to your channel and I must say you are awesome. Well, thank you so much, Cards Blake. I appreciate the compliment, okay? I'm so grateful that the messages resonated with you. Thank you to whoever that was that sent a gift, okay? I think it said not a light or something like that, okay? Blessings to you, dear one, okay? Whomever you are, all right? And then Alien World sent a star for 2 jewels. Thank you so much, Alien World 369. Appreciate you. Okay. Lisa says, thank you, beautiful lady. You're very welcome, Lisa. You are very, very welcome. And you said he made a mess of himself. Yes, he did. Because, you know, if I know that you guys are a part of my collective, y'all have some ancestors, dear one. They ride at dawn now. They don't play about you, okay? So, yeah, he done definitely messed up, okay? And then Alien World says, game over, okay? Yeah. Says some more emojis, okay? Rico, I remember seeing you, Rico, the other day. What's up, Rico King? Rico says facts, okay? Lisa says, exactly, he's nothing. He means nothing to me. Absolutely. And then you says he got his karma. Very good. Karma is best served cold. You better know that it is. Yeah. And then Kevin LVJ, the Dallas, Texas way, 333, says, I am karma, walking and swimming. I know that's right. Let him know. I say, let him know. And then Jessica says he still is, okay? So Jessica, you could have been responding to the fact that he still is doing the janky lust spells, even though you have become aware of what he was doing and you have been, you know, clearing your energy and lifting those lust spells off of you or returning them to sender. Yeah, because sometimes, you know, a lot of times they're one day stuck on stupid and, you know, they're always trying to be right, okay? So, you know, they're always trying to keep up that same thing, okay? It's like, you know, they're stuck on stupid, they're stuck on this script, okay, where in this script they're the ones that is in control of you, dominating you, and you're the one that is being forced to submit. But you know what, it don't work that way, okay? So yeah, keep your energy cleansed, okay? Do what you got to do, okay? All right, you guys, and I see a lot of beautiful comments here. So many. I can't get through all of them. Intuitively Enlightened sent a gold coin for 10 jewels. Thank you so much, Intuitively Enlightened 23. I love the name, by the way. Sheikh Ridwan Abdullahi says facts. Okay, I love you. Thank you so much, dear one. Love you back. Okay. And then Queen of Blunt Truth says, that's why it's important to know and see your worth. Absolutely. Okay. Because when you know your worth and you see your worth, a lot of times you can bypass all of these jankies that otherwise you would have given them a chance, you know, like mercy dating or giving them a chance when you know damn well they're not even on your level. Those be the ones that will hem your goddamn life up. Okay. When you say to yourself, damn, I should have never said hello. I should have never gave him or her my number. You know, I should have never went on a date with him. I knew I wasn't interested in them in the first place, you know. Or, you know, you allow somebody to wear you down. They keep on pestering you and you give them a chance. That's the worst thing you could do. Then you won't be able to get rid of the motherfucker. So, yeah, a lot of times when you know your worth from the jump, you automatically say, no, next, okay. This is not, you know, personal, this is business. And yeah, the answer is still no. Okay, yeah, a lot of times you could bypass all of that. All right, dear one, so I'm going to read the rest of you guys' lovely, beautiful comments, okay, after the video is done processing, okay? And I want you guys, in the meantime, I want you guys to continue to enjoy the rest of your beautiful, lovely day, okay? Whatever time that it is in your neck of the woods, okay? You guys stay protected, okay? Because as you guys are popping out into the spotlight, as your light is becoming brighter and brighter, as you guys are now in a season where you are getting stability and security, and you're now beginning to, partake of the fruits of your labor as opposed to working and other people are partaking of it. There are a lot of people, dear one, they don't like the fact that you have gone from, like rags to riches on your level. They don't like the fact that you have freed yourself, that you have released yourself. And a lot of these people, they are a non-motherfucking factor to you, but to them, dear one, you're all they got, and they trying to hold on to you. They trying to be right. So you got to stay prayed up. You got to stay protected, because there's a lot of weirdos out here, okay? And for whatever reason, dear one, they got their eye on you, okay? Which is why Spirit wanted me to give you guys this tea today, okay? So I hope that this tea that you need to set you has resonated with you guys, okay? And until next time, you guys, whenever I come back on, until then, stay beautiful, stay blessed, and stay great. Peace.